All right, folks, so we are back, and we have breaking news as Misfits Boxing is back. Misfits 22, they're calling it Ring of Thrones. They've only announced 2 fights, the co-main and the main. And it's only been out for about 10 minutes, and it's already sparking controversy, so we need to talk about it because I, for one, am excited, and I will be watching. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go.
He is the star of W.A.D.E Concept.
So, Misfits 22 just dropped, and here is the poster. Ring of Thrones main event, Darren Till versus Luke Rockhold. Co-main event, Tony Ferguson versus Super Salt Papi. Now, they're talking about Misfits titles here. I don't really give a shit about any of that. I care about the 4 men in these 2 matchups. And by the way, the poster's fire. They're doing a Game of Thrones thing. I never watched Game of Thrones. Sorry to people that did, but it looks good. It looks pretty damn good. Now, let's talk location. August 30th in the AO Arena in Manchester. If I remember correctly, that is the city for sure, if not the same arena that I made my second home. That's right. Planted the W.A.D.E Concept flag right in the middle of Manchester. Came across the pond, got a W, and said, yeah, Daddy's home. They're going back there, which I think is great because Misfits has a massive UK audience. And listen, they have 4 big names, at least for this scene, on the card. 3 of which were either title contenders, interim champions, or in the case of Luke Rockhold, full-on MMA champion. So let's break down the matchups. Number 1, Darren Till, Luke Rockhold. You have former 170-pound championship contender in Darren Till versus... At one point, I know it's big 2025 and we don't think about this anymore, but at one point, Luke Rockhold was the baddest dude in the world at 185 pounds. He was nasty. Now, this is boxing, not necessarily his forte, because Luke Rockhold had never been a boxing aficionado. I mean, he lost to bare knuckle to Pkwy, but I mean, he had great kicks in MMA. He had a great question mark kick, one of the best question mark kicks and high kicks you'll ever see, but a high-level grappler in his own right as well. I mean, he beat Michael Bisping with a 1-arm guillotine at one point, and strong guy, great grappler, but boxing was never really his thing, which is why, you know, when he came over and did the bare knuckle thing, Pkwy knocked his tooth out and beat him in a bare knuckle fight. But now he's got the gloves on, and Darren Till's looking for more fighters to feast on. I'm going to be honest, I think Darren Till not only beats Luke Rockhold here, probably knocks him out, because Darren Till has shown himself to be a high-level crossover boxer, if you want to call him that. But he is taken this scene by storm, has beaten Anthony Taylor, just beat Darren Stewart with a walk-off KO there, and he's being active. Darren Till right now is carrying Misfits. It's the truth. He is Misfits' biggest star. He's their biggest name. KSI's not fighting, so Darren Till has taken the company by storm and taken over this whole thing. I was in his co-main event in his debut. He's since had another main event. This is his 3rd main event this year. That's crazy. Darren Till has fought 3 times this year, or will have by the time August 30th rolls around, knock on wood. But yeah, I mean, listen, this is a great fight, name value-wise. A lot of people know who Luke Rockhold is. I think he did something with Karate Combat as well. He's done bare knuckle. He has gotten around after his time in MMA, and I think he trains here on the West Coast. So if I can, I would love to get some sessions in, or at least talk to Luke Rockhold about this decision to go and box and see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's got better hands now. Maybe he's just been training boxing than we've ever seen before. But as of right now, I do think Darren Till is the better boxer of the 2, and he's probably going to show it. But then we have the co-main event, and this one is very controversial, people, because it involves, I would say, a man that most MMA fans are far more emotionally tied to because of his run and the subsequent fall-off of one Tony Ferguson. But whether you like this or don't like it, meaning him boxing, Tony has a ton of fans. And if this would have been Tony Ferguson versus Jake Paul or Tony Ferguson versus KSI, I'd probably be in the same boat to be like, yeah, nah, I don't think this is a good idea. And to be honest, because of their experience and the time they've had in the sport, and Tony is coming off of a very downward trajectory in his MMA career. And listen, Salt Papi's very good as well. It's not like he is just random influencer versus Tony Ferguson. Salt Papi's probably going to knock Tony Ferguson out. I mean, that's what I think. I think that Salt Papi's probably going to clean Tony Ferguson's clock in this fight. And again, I don't think Tony should be fighting. I'm just going to say that, just like I said with the Mike Tyson fight and some others, I don't think he should be fighting. I don't think Manny Pacquiao should be fighting this Saturday for a world title against Mario Barrios. But that's happened. These guys are adults. They're going to make the decisions they want to make. Am I pumped to see Tony go in there and get absolutely slaughtered? No, and maybe he won't. Maybe he won't. But all indications, at least from me, are that Saul Papi should knock him out. For sure. And I don't want to see that. But at the same time, I'm not going to act like I don't want to see him fight and I don't want to see Saul Papi fight. I do. I just don't want to see Tony get hurt. But that's the fight game, and that's what you sign up for. These guys are grown men at the end of the day. I'm not making excuses for it. Again, Tony shouldn't be fighting. But hey, here we are. He's an adult. He said yes. Good luck to him. Maybe he comes out with a sense of renewed energy at 41 coming into this fight. And everybody is walking into this thinking Saul Papi's going to knock Tony out and Tony's a walking dead man. But it's interesting to me when I hear all this controversy pop up online, because I was here long enough to remember when Saul Papi fought Slim and lost, and everybody said it was overrated or overhyped. And the same thing happened when he fought Anthony Taylor and lost. And Anthony Taylor is not a spry chicken in his own right, and definitely never had the career Tony Ferguson did. And I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges here. I'm just saying the same people that call Anthony Taylor trash for losing to Darren Till or call Slim trash for losing to Gibb are the same people upset that Tony Ferguson is fighting the guy that lost to Slim and that lost to Anthony Taylor in his debut on Misfits. And again, I'm with you that I think Saul Papi's probably going to knock him out. But if Tony Ferguson is going to continue to fight, is there a less lethal option for him name value-wise to keep you interested, to keep you entertained in watching him fight? Like, is it more safe for Tony Ferguson to go back and fight in the UFC? Is it more safe for him to go fight in karate combat? Is it more safe for him to go and box somewhere else? Is it more safe for him to do bare knuckle? The answer is no. If Tony Ferguson is going to fight, which again, I don't think he should, but if he's going to, it's going to be dangerous regardless where he does it. But he's fighting the guy in Saul Papi that has 4 years experience boxing. Sure, that's more than Tony, but it's on the lesser side of the experience you could have when walking into a new sport like boxing. And for Tony Ferguson, I still think he's going to get knocked the fuck out. But listen, I'm ready for this card. This feels like a big move for Misfits, at least without KSI in the fold of what's happening, or at least, him fighting or whatever. This feels like one of their bigger cards, one of their bigger opportunities to get themselves back on track, because KSI has pulled out of his last couple. There's been some great cards. There's been some okay cards. There's been some not so great cards. This one feels like, at least at the top of it, it is going to be a good card for Misfits. Now, again, they only have shown us the main and the co-main. I have heard rumors, and actually it's not even a rumor at this point because he's pretty much come out and said it. Aaron the Plumber on Twitter is saying he's going to be fighting on August 30th. And if you guys know anything about what's been going on between me and Aaron the Plumber, I'll be taking a very close look at that fight. But who knows what else is going to be on this card. There could be another couple of bangers, another couple of sleepers on this card. But I can't lie, yeah, I'm pumped about watching Misfits 22. I know it's a freak show. I get it, and I've always got it. And for the people that don't like this kind of thing, that's okay. You don't have to like Misfits, and you can call it a freak show. Because yeah, you're right, it is. It is a bit of a freak show compared to the highest level of pro boxing. But no one's ever said that Misfits was high-level boxing. No one's ever claimed that the best of Misfits are the best in the world. We know. People that are in this scene, in the crossover boxing scene, know that's not the case. That's not ever been the case. That's never been where it came from or where it's going. It's just entertaining fights for the sake of having entertaining fights. And also, if we're going to call this a freak show, then you kind of do have to call the rest of the sport of boxing at times a freak show, because most of your favorite fighters in their first 10 to 12 fights, they're not fighting anybody of substance. They're not fighting high-level competitors. They're going out and knocking out tomato cans to pad their record, to put them in a position to fight against some of the people that are holding world titles in their next 10 to 15 fights. And the second biggest fight that's ever been presented on pay-per-view in a boxing ring was a freak show. Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor in a pro boxing match was a complete freak show. Because why would the greatest of all time, or at least one of the greatest of all time at 49-0, even be able to or elect to fight Conor McGregor in his debut in boxing? And people wouldn't watch anything like that, right? Morality would get in the way. They would say, no way can we let that. No, of course not. It was like 4 million people bought it on pay-per-view. And how about Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou? That just happened like 2 years ago. And the people that were acting like it wasn't a big deal or it wasn't something they were going to watch, they still showed up and watched. And Francis Ngannou knocked down Tyson Fury, the reigning heavyweight champion of the world, in his first boxing match. So I'm tired of the whole fake purist thing where people act like it's some big deal that these fights go on and they're finger waving and safeguarding the sport of boxing, when we all know that the sport of boxing, much like the sport of MMA and combat sports in general, have a bit of freak show in them, because you kind of have to. Because these sports are not like regular sports. They're just not. It's just a very polarizing thing because Tony Ferguson's 41 and he's coming off a massive losing streak in the UFC. But again, I counter with, if Tony is going to fight, and that's something you and I can't control, is there a safe option out there for him? The answer is no, there isn't. A fight's a fight. So he shouldn't be doing it, but I'm not going to lie. I'm going to watch. I'm excited for the rest of this card rollout. AO Arena, August 30th, Manchester. Darren Till, Luke Rockhold. I mean, listen, I have a feeling Darren Till's going to win that, but hey, you never know, and let's see what Luke Rockhold brings. But regardless, Misfits is trying, and this announcement was a little bit delayed, but I'm happy that they got something going here, and they got a date, and they're looking to move forward. And again, I am keeping an eye on that Aaron the Plumber fight. So, what happens in these two fights? I've given my opinion. Maybe it'll change as we get closer if I see something different. Probably not, but I'm excited for it. I'm going to be watching. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll do some breakdowns. I'd love to interview Luke Rockhold. I think he's out here in Orange County, so hopefully we can get that set up and just try to build this thing because, you know what? I want to have fun watching cards, and I want to see Misfits continue to grow. It's where I started in this scene, and I want to continue to try to help them build, and I'll always try to do that. So, Misfits 22, breaking news announcement just dropped. Main event, Darren Till, Luke Rockhold. And Comain, Tony Ferguson makes his return versus Salt Papi. August 30th, AO Arena, Manchester, a.k.a. my backyard. What happens when this card fully gets unveiled? Who wins and why? I don't have those answers yet, but I guess we'll find out.